Solving multi-step equations, day 2. We're going to talk about this another day because it is of so much importance and because there's lots of steps we've kind of been building as we go. So, as we have every other day in this unit, we are going to use this acronym, Don't Call Me a Monster. We're still not using that first M, that's move variables. So we will distribute first if we can. That's if there are parentheses around something. If there are parentheses, you can distribute. Combine like terms. That's if we have x's or numbers that we can combine, variables we can combine. Move variables, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Solve the following equations and check your answers. And I'm actually going to check these first two, but I'm going to leave it up to you to do that for the rest of them. So number 1, 6r plus 7 minus 7r equals 13. So we cannot distribute because there are no parentheses, but we can combine like terms. There is a 6r term and the minus 7r. Remember, we always combine like terms only on that one side of the equation. They have to be on the same side to combine them with this. Otherwise, we'd have an imbalanced equation. We don't want that. So let's combine these. We get 6 minus 7. That's negative 1. So negative 1r, bring down plus 7, equals 13. Can't distribute, combine like terms, add, subtract. So we'll subtract 7 from both sides. That gives us negative 1r equals 6. Now, it's really common for students to skip this part right here. So we need to divide by negative 1. We need to do that. R equals actually negative 6. I'm going to go ahead and box it in, but I'm going to switch over to my calculator and show you that this does, in fact, work out as a solution. All right. I'm going to delete those. So we have 6r. Well, r we said is negative 6. So 6 times negative 6 plus 7 minus 7 times negative 6 equals 13. And we have true. It is a true statement. So therefore, we know it does in fact work. All right. Next, 13 equals negative parentheses 1 plus x plus 4x. Thing to notice right here, we have parentheses, so we need to distribute. We need to do that first. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the understood 1 that is there. Make that a little clearer. The understood 1 that is there, so it's a negative 1. So negative 1 times 1, that is negative 1. Negative 1 times x, that's minus 1x, or negative 1x. Bring down all the other stuff. 13 equals that stuff plus 4x. Combine like terms. Can we do that? We've distributed combine like terms. Yes, we can. We have negative 1x plus 4x. We're going to bring down that minus 1. I'm just going to put it right here. Bring down the minus 1 and the 13. But this will give us a positive 3x. So 3x minus 1. Add, subtract. We're going to add 1 to both sides, which gives us 14 equals 3x. And then dividing by 3, x equals 14 thirds, or 14 over 3. Now, I'm going to go ahead and box that because I do trust that that's our answer. But I am going to go back and check this. That is part of our job. All right, so that is going to look something to this effect. We're going to have 13 equals negative 1 plus x, which in this case, x is 14 over 3. Control divide will do the fraction for you. Plus 4 times 14 over 3. Whoops, 14 over 3. And that is also true. So even though that's a fraction, we don't really like that. You guys don't usually like that. It is, in fact, that is the answer. That is the exact answer. Don't use the decimal in that case because it's going to be like 0.3333 repeating, something like that. Or 0.67. It could be, let's see, that's 12. Yeah, it's going to be 0.6 repeating. So you really do want to use that fraction. That's the best answer. Okay, number 3. Distribute. I'll go and write this. Distribute, combine like terms, and then ignore that guy. Add, subtract, multiply, divide. Okay. So distributing first, we'll distribute the 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2c plus 6c. We'll bring down all the rest. Plus 7c equals 3. Let's draw a line down the middle. Combining like terms, we have to do it over here. So we got these two guys right here. That is going to give us a 13c bringing down all the rest, plus 3 equals 3. Add, subtract, we want to subtract 3 from both sides. And even if it seems strange to you, because you have nothing left over, you can't just leave it blank. You have to write 3 minus 3, which is 0. 13c, and then dividing by 13 gives us c equals 0. Alright, so if I plugged in 0 everywhere I saw a c up here, this part would be 0, that'd be 0, so this would be 3 equals 3, which is going to be true. So this one does check out. Number 4, can't distribute, there are no parentheses, but we can combine like terms. We can combine like terms with the 6b minus 2b minus 5b. So that is really, we're dealing with 6 minus 2 minus 5. If you want to use your calculator, you can do that. But that should be negative 1. So we get negative 1b. We can also combine, again, only things on this side, combine negative 14 plus 7, and that takes care of everything. So negative 14 plus 7, which is negative 7. So we get minus 7 equals 1. And that is a b. Yes, it is. So now, add, subtract. We are going to add 7 to both sides, which gives us an 8. 8 equals negative 1b. In fact, I probably should have used a capital B everywhere, because then it doesn't look like a lowercase b. Dividing by negative 1, we get b equals negative 8. And that one I have already checked on my own, so that one is, I do know that one's correct. All right, number 5. All right, we will distribute first. Distribute, combine like terms, move variables, add, subtract, multiply, divide. Don't call me a monster. Don't call me a monster. If you distribute this, you should get negative 2x minus 6, negative 2 times x, negative 2 times 3, okay, plus 2x, bring that down, equals negative 5. Alright. To combine like terms, only on this side, or we have to do it on each side. Okay, in this case, there's nothing over here to combine with. Later, that'll be a thing. Okay, but for now, we're going to combine these two, negative 2x plus 2x. So that's negative 2 plus 2, which is 0. So 0x, 0 times anything is 0. So that's just 0x. We're going to leave, that means these two cancel out. They are a 0 pair. So negative 6 equals negative 5. Now this brings up a very, very interesting question. There is no x. There's no x. So there really aren't that many possibilities here. But here, this negative 6 equals 6 is false. If you type that in your calculator, it is a false statement. That means there is no solution. We're going to see this in a couple of times at least. If you get a false statement, there's no way that negative 6 equals negative 5. There's no way that equals, so therefore it's no solution. So if you get something completely ridiculous, it's no solution. Now, when the variable cancels out like this, okay, it's a 0 pair, it cancels out, we have two possibilities. Either we get something that's false or we get something that's true. We'll see what happens here in a second when something's true. All right, so let's see. If we distribute this 1 right here, it's understood 1. That's going to be n minus 1n minus 2 equals negative 2. Now, that really has a understood 1 right there. So when we combine, we have a problem. We have a 0 pair again. But this time we have negative 2 equals negative 2. That is always true. That's true. That means that our answer is actually all real numbers. I'm gonna go and write it with a pound sign there because that stands for numbers. All real numbers. Now, the thing to know here is really what all real numbers means is that if you plug any number up here as n, pick your favorite number, plug it in, it'll be true. Pick your least favorite number, plug it in, it'll be true. So here we have something that's false and nothing works, or something that's true and everything works. And we will talk about this a bit more. All right, number 7. First, we'll distribute. We will take this positive 2, multiply it over here, and we'll get 14 minus 4n. We'll bring down plus 2n and equals 0. Combine like terms. Minus 4n plus 2n. That gives us 14, and that is minus 2n. Negative 2. Okay, now we must add or subtract. So in this case, subtract 14, which gives us a negative 14 and negative 2n. Last step, multiply or divide. Divide by negative 2. And so we get n equals positive 7. N equals positive 7. And you need to plug that back in and make sure that it does turn to be true. So let's see, that'd be negative 7, negative 12, plus negative 14 plus 14, which is 0. This does, in fact, check out. And again, you need to make sure you do that very often, especially when it counts. All right, number 8, combine like term, or distribute's our first step. There are no parentheses, so we can't distribute. So combine like terms. Only on this side, we've got 7x plus 7x minus x. Okay, so that gives us a total of, well, 7 minus 1, so that's 6. So we're going to have 6x. Then we're going to have negative 4 minus 5, so I'm going to write that over here. Negative 4 minus 5 plus 10. Oh, box that in. Plus 10, so that is going to be 1, positive 1. So that's going to give us a plus 1 down here. Plus 1 equals negative 5. All right. Now, to solve this, we'll add or subtract. In this case, subtract 1. Negative 6 equals 6x. Dividing by 6 means x equals negative 1. And if you plug that in real quick, you should get a true statement. And I did that a minute ago, so yes, it is a true statement. All right, number 9. First, we have parentheses. We can distribute, so we'll go ahead and do that. Distribute negative 4. That's negative 8 plus 4x minus x equals 0. We need a lot of understood ones here. So that's minus 1x minus 1x. Combining like terms, we have 4x minus 1x minus 1x. Okay, bring all that other stuff down. 4 minus 2, that is 2x. All right, adding 8 to both sides, we get 2x equals 8. Dividing by 2, we get x equals 4. And 4 does, in fact, work. All right, 10, last one on this page. And in fact, the last one on our assignment, or our notes. So first we will distribute. Distribute our understood 1 here. And distribute an 8 over here. Let me do this, different color. 8 over here. Keep our little line down there. Okay, so that's negative 7x minus 3x plus, I'm going to distribute that, 8x plus 8 equals negative 2. Distributing, done. Combine like terms, negative 7x, negative 3x plus 8x. So that is negative 7 minus 3 plus 8, which is negative 2, I believe. Yep, negative 2. So negative 2x, bring down that plus 8, equals negative 2. Add or subtract. So we'll subtract 8 from both sides. So it's negative 2x equals negative 10. dividing by -2, x equals +5. And the last thing I'm going to do before I call this completely finished is I'm going to go over and check this one real quick. Let's take this to my calculator just want to show you that again. We have negative 7x, which x is, we said 5. 7 times 5 plus 3 times 5. Okay. Plus 8, parentheses, 5 plus 1. Equals -2. And that is, in fact, a true statement. So good. We know that it works. And that brings us to the end of our notes. Well, that's it.